Hello and welcome to
And now we're talking.
Real Estate.
Yes, with your hosts,
Myself, Jillian Stickney, and
Michelle Patterson-Knipp.
where we cover all things real estate and non-real estate.
And non-real estate, we do go on tangents sometimes.
Just a wee bit. All right, and we're rolling here with episode 8. And now we're talking.
And now we're talking.
State. Woo. Welcome back, everybody.
Hey.
So Michelle and I just love going off the cuff so much. I don't even think we know exactly what we're going to talk about, but what happens is we start talking in the studio and we're like, we should be recording. So we're just recording. And I feel like there's maybe something that you were...
Well, listen, we are full into 2026.
Yep.
Weather's starting to get better.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you're like me, but that means I'm getting out more.
Yes.
So is there anything cool that's going to be happening in your
my
neck of the woods in your life?
Is this what I think? Is this the prompt that I think it is?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a high school reunion, and then I don't want to say, but it's my 30-year reunion.
Hey, why can't you say it?
Because I'm ageist? No, it's not that. It's like, I was telling actually a girlfriend of mine who went to Scona. So I went to Scona. Scona's, any listeners out there who are graduated in 95, your reunion's coming up. So anyways, no. So it's just more, what? Like 20 sounds more like it would be accurate. It's just more, it's just like, what? How can that be that long ago?
And I think typically it's the 25-year reunion, isn't it? Isn't that like the norm, like you do the 25-year, or is it like 20, 30?
Well, we did a 10-year, and it wasn't that big. Like, Facebook was kind of new. I went to it, but it wasn't. I actually think our 30-year might have more traction than our 10. And then otherwise, I don't really know what the sort of garden variety or the sort of standard. But what I can say is I'm not really involved in the spearheading of this, so I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just kind of...
And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about it, because I don't know if it's necessarily an Edmonton thing or a Canadian thing, but I don't feel like we have the same kind of like high school culture that they do in the United States.
No, I think you're right. I think it's quite different. Yeah.
We don't have like
almost university too. Like, yeah. That or Hollywood is just really probably a bit of both.
Like the whole Hollywood thing has just like made our lives like seem so wah.
Yeah, like a little more basic than what we see
like we don't do homecoming.
Well, there's no like Friday Night Lights football games.
There's no prom.
No,
right?
There's no grad.
Grad.
Yeah. So anyways, we're going to make up for it because it's an O'Byrne, so that should be fun. And being from Scona, you know, we all hung out so much on White Ave, right? So
it was so close. Like,
yeah, it was awesome.
Like, how long did it take you to walk to White Ave? From like 10 minutes? 15 minutes?
Yeah, 10 minutes. And honestly, like, I mean, not that I'm like opposed to walking now, but like we walked, we walked everywhere. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, then we walked over to the Sugar Bowl, and then we walked to our friends who lived in Windsor Park. And then we were like, like
for half of that time, you didn't have cars.
No. And I even this will come as no surprise to you probably. I basically refused to take public transit, but I would like ride my bike everywhere. So yeah, like, but I was
princess.
And I always say if the tiara fits, but so I would ride my bike everywhere. And and I was very mobile. Like, it wasn't like, I never did, like, I was on the move, but so.
But here's the thing, and I know we can relate because we both grew up in Riverbend, right?
Whoop, whoop, Zone 14.
Zone 14. You went to Scona. I went to Ainley. And I hear you about not taking public transit.
Thank you.
Because if you wanted to get to school on time, it would take you about an hour on the bus.
we okay, especially as, like, a full-blown adult, like, we were so close. Like, even Skona
Yeah.
wasn't that far, but Ainley was so
So
close to you.
close.
You would've like, uh for me, riding my bike, I probably could have walked to Skona faster. No, probably not, but, like, riding my bike, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was like Riverbend was on this, like, little island
Uh-huh. The
of its
best
own.
time.
Yeah, yeah, and you had to get on the freeway,
Mhm.
which would kinda make riding a bike or even walking a little bit harder because you'd have to cross the river.
Yeah, so what I did, because I was in Brookside,
Yeah,
so I would go down
there's that.
behind behind Fox Farm? Like, down
Yeah,
at yeah,
yeah,
yeah, so there still is probably, like, a bit of a goat road trail, like, just for, like, pedestrians, bikes, whatever.
right.
Go down there, pop out, like and then Fox Drive, the one behind Keilor, like, the horse
Are you
stable.
gonna talk about Keilor Road?
Yes!
Keilor
Oh,
Road?
Keilor
Can we
Road!
just have a moment of silence for Keilor Road? And scene. Like, seriously,
Yeah.
that road was
The bomb.
it.
Yeah, totally. I love this episode, already my favorite. No, yeah, so Keeler Road, which I mean,
Oh,
okay, so, like, what that was, like, the best road, but fortunately, like, as much as I hate that it was closed down by then, I did use so I would go so we
you would
literally
ride your bike down Keilor Road?
yeah, but it wasn't open for traffic
Traffic,
anymore.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I got there, like, a pretty, like, so kinda go through the back end of Brookside, down, like, behind was it Fox's Farm?
Okay,
And then
yeah,
yeah, and then sort of I'd cross over, like, just
be
somewhere. That was my biggest thing was crossing whatever that by
114th?
no, 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 crossing down in the ravine by, like, whatever that why can't I think of this is embarrassing. Let's continue. So, no, and then
Well, okay, let's just explain what Keilor Road was.
yes.
So, you would get onto the white mud, and you would go down Fox Drive,
Mhm,
veering as if you're going towards the university,
mhm,
towards campus, or to the U of A hospital,
yeah.
to that kinda end of town. And before you go now you had to go all the way up that Fox Drive, but before you would turn right by the White Mud Equestrian Center, right after Fort Edmonton Park, like,
Yeah, just
so
after you cross the little bridge, like the creek,
yeah,
you would turn and you would take this lovely road that was between the riding stable and the
and
ravine,
yeah,
the river,
the river
like,
valley.
you're in the
Yeah,
river valley. It was such was route hack. Like, it
yeah.
got you everywhere so fast. It was the best.
So if you wanted to go to the university or if you wanted to go downtown.
Yes, because you would just hop on again, I don't know the name of all these roads, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and so you would end up right by where Peter Pocklington used to.
Oh, did he I thought he lived more Crestwoody.
No, he lived on, like, that road that kind of
Well, there's
it goes
Saskatchewan
up from
Drive, because
Horlick Drive,
so
Horlick Park.
okay, okay, interesting. I mean, I guess I didn't know where Peter lived, but basically, yeah, like, you would come up and you'd come out on Saskatchewan Drive, and then you'd
Yeah,
just hug the river, and you
yeah,
would get downtown so quick too, like, it
yeah,
was just such a slick
such a
road.
good
Yeah,
shortcut.
yeah, until the city ruined that for us.
No lights,
No lights, nope.
and then you drive
Footloose
out
and
there, and
fancy free.
you'd feel like you're out in the
Yes!
country because 'cause you'd had the river on the other side, and you'd be, like, in the,
The
like,
equestrian facility, you were in the woods, basically, yeah.
woods.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just this road that was cut out that
Yeah, and it was just such a little shortcut. It was
yeah,
yeah, it was the best. I remember, like, I don't think I ever took it as a driver, but, like, when we were young and, like, my
yeah.
mom would take it. Yeah, it was
Oh, yeah, I we drove that, and it was so funny because it was such a big thing. It was actually, like, a touchstone for an election one year about whether we're gonna keep that Keeler Road open or
mhm.
not, and there were candidates, I wanna say Mike Nichols, who campaigned on the fact that they're gonna keep this road open,
And then did they win and
because
not keep it open? Don't tell me. That sounds like
well, we all
politics.
know that
I mean,
they
obviously, it's closed.
I can't remember if he won then or not, but they
Do you know
did end
what?
up closing it.
My mom would know all of this.
Oh
So,
my
yeah,
god.
I'll have a little chat with her, and we can report
Yeah.
back. Maybe we should get her in her and for a guest spot too, but
You'd be first you'd be by John Jansen Nature Center, like, on that Fox Drive, and then you'd end up kind of, like, on the outskirts of McKernan there, right?
yeah, yep,
And
on the west edge of
M
McKernan.
McKernan, and it was just such an easier way because you didn't have to go through and past
Up
the
and around.
university campus, so
Yeah,
it was a great way if you need to get on campus or if you needed to get downtown,
yeah,
and if you lived on the
or
south
if
side there.
yeah, or if you lived in Brookside and needed to bike to Scona.
Right,
But that was
right.
okay, so the road was then closed, so it was great to bike on, but closed for vehicular traffic.
And they used to during that time when they were talking about closing it, they had this counter set up. You know, they had this
Yeah,
little
where you could count the traffic, yeah.
you count the traffic by the number of people who would drive over it. So, my friends and I, thinking that we're just, so smart and brilliant, we would, make sure nobody's coming. We would drive back and forth over that counter.
So why did you want it? Okay, so but just did you even have, I guess, an agenda? Like, were you like, because to me,
Yeah,
that's gonna, like, close the road maybe, or was
I
it,
don't know.
that you're just like, "Oh, we're just gonna rig the system.
We were no,
Thanks, Michelle,
we
now
uh,
road's closed."
no, but we honestly thought that if they knew how popular this road was, they would be
Keep it
forced to keep it
okay,
open.
so I was wondering where you're, or it was
That's
like,
where our
"Oh,
thought was.
it's too busy, like, we need to close." Yeah, I didn't know where you were going with your
Yeah.
strategy.
I mean, it is I couldn't even imagine because it was a very narrow road.
Yeah, like the kind of shoulderless
Yeah,
blacktop. Yeah,
yeah,
it wasn't a
and it
proper
was
road by
2
any.
and it was two-way traffic, so,
Yeah.
but it was kind of, like,
And it was
windy.
windy,
Yeah,
and there
y
was hill, like, it was undulating. Yeah,
so kind of like the Groat Road, but just on the other side of the river, right? With
but
it, the
but
windy and
way
way more.
rougher, like, in the
Yeah,
sense of, like, no shoulder, blacktop,
yeah.
like, yeah, every man, woman, and child for themselves. Like, yeah, you had to drive if you drove on that road.
Yeah.
Nowadays, like, yeah, anyways, that was for only the skilled drivers.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And in order, because I think part of that too was that if they were closing down that road, they had to make I think it's 114th Street wider. And
Yeah.
remember, they got rid of all of those homes,
Yeah.
and that was a huge thing too, because
Yeah.
all those homes
There
that
was
were on
2,
yeah,
yeah, I think it was basically the equivalent of, like, 2, like, it would typically be 2 houses on
yes,
the west side of 114th got
yeah,
expropriated all along, but they were also, I don't know where the LRT was at that time, I think those were all kind of factored in.
yeah,
There used to be a traffic circle
yeah.
at
Oh, the traffic
76.
circle.
Oh, yeah, they were the best. Yeah,
They
76 and
were,
114, yeah. I mean, we
'cause
still have a few of them, thank goodness, but I love me a good traffic circle.
right?
Yeah.
And I remember when that traffic circle first closed, like the amount of traffic, and when Keilor Road was like, that was it, that traffic going from Fox Drive onto 114th Street, it just took forever.
Yeah, yeah, like, it's kinda like it was a double whammy because taking that way when Keilor was open took a long time, but then once Keilor was closed, like,
Yeah, you
yeah.
didn't have a choice.
Well, yeah, and then it just took even longer, so boo for us, yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you have a river dividing your city.
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. We love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, I biked to Scona. So back to where we were, which
Yeah,
now leads us
sorry.
to our, yeah, the 30-year reunion, which is O'Byrne, so it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there any of your classmates that you're excited to see?
Um, well, I guess, that could be a trick question because, like,
Do you
uh
still see them?
well, that's the thing, it's like there might be people that I don't know because 'cause I'm not in touch with that are end up being there, which will be,
Yeah.
like, cool, but then it's like, I know, like, obviously enough of my friends will be going, and it's like, "Well, cool, you're my friend, so great, I'm, like, in touch with you to some degree," but I know there's, like, some friends coming from out east,
Oh,
out
wow.
west. Oh, yeah, totally, yeah, like, yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's kinda cool. So that's why I'm like, I actually think it'll be more of a turnout than the 10-year?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
so stay tuned there.
Well, we had I think it was a 10-year, and we were never on the ball. Like, first of all, so traditionally, it's supposed to be your grad president that's supposed to run these reunions, right?
Okay.
But our grad president moved to, like, Brazil, so It had
So
to
they're
be
not
somebody else. They
doing
weren't too no, they weren't too on the ball.
Yeah.
Funny enough, she ended up coming to it.
Typical
Right?
politicians.
Yeah, yeah, she just didn't plan any of it,
Oh my
right?
goodness.
So, that was kinda weird. But anyways, so our 10-year reunion probably happened, like, year 11 and, a
Yeah,
little bit
yeah,
afterwards, like, we were
yes.
never really, like, on the ball, and I think we had,
Probably
like,
10 years someone was like, "Someone should have planned
some
something,"
yeah,
and
and
then
then
it got
finally.
started, yeah.
But, I mean, I went to Ainley, such a
Huge.
huge
Well,
grad class.
I almost wonder if that's more of the problem. Everyone's like, "Someone else is obviously gonna be doing
Yeah,
it," you
yeah.
know? Yeah.
Or just even the thought of doing it.
And
Oh,
then it's more
massive.
daunting maybe. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, totally. So, anyway,
yeah.
what about you? Anything exciting on the radar coming up as we sort of head into more spring and maybe more activities or
I am looking forward to baseball.
Oh,
I am
okay.
looking forward to that, and I'm actually going to Toronto to catch the Blue Jays for their, home opener.
Oh, fun,
Yeah,
fun.
so that'll be fun.
Well, I remember last year you went when we were in the am I saying this right? Playoffs?
I
Is that
wanna
the
hear
word?
you say it. Yes. Postseason.
What
Yeah,
the
postseason.
postseason, yeah, I
Yes.
wouldn't have got that vocab, but, like, I'm like, "Playoffs." I know that's what we say for hockey, but
Yes.
I'm like
Yeah, no,
yeah.
we say that too.
Was it is it really the playoffs?
Playoffs, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's called postseason.
Yeah, okay,
Postseason
so
ball.
she went for some postseason ball.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Yeah, that would be an experience for sure. So, well, hopefully, we'll get some, like, postseason hockey here.
I can't even talk to you about hockey.
Oh, just you don't know enough or you're upset or what?
I mean, I feel like I'm upset.
Can't even talk about this.
No, it's not that I'm upset. It's like I feel like I'm that odd man out where I don't really follow the hockey. Everybody around me, you know what? Nobody in my family, when
Oh,
I
I
say my
was
family, I mean my immediate, like,
yeah,
Kevin doesn't
yeah,
watch hockey,
and your
and
son, you know
yeah, Daniel's not into it,
yeah,
and I'm like, "Meh,
yeah, so
no."
you yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of like I keep an eye like, I'm not, in the trenches or I don't know, like, every little thing, but I have, like, half a clue. So and I kinda thought I knew we were doing well, so I was like, "Oh, are we even gonna make the playoffs?" And then it sounds like, "Oh, but our division or league or whatever is also not good, so we're actually not doing as bad as we
Right,
think," because it's kinda like maybe being, what, like, graded on a scale a bit? Like, we're sort of in a poor so out of some other not great teams, we're doing better than them. So it
right.
sounds like, from what I understand right now, we'll make it. And I think like by the time this airs, we'll probably be in the playoffs. Is my
I have no idea.
yeah. Michelle's like, sure.
I have no idea. No.
Okay, well, is there anything else that you feel like you would like to discuss? Any recent goings-ons in your real estate travels? Any funny stories?
Yeah.
Oh.
So my client just this is where it gets kind of funny, but my client sent me a home that we're actually gonna go and check out this weekend, and he commented on how poor these pictures were.
Hmm? Mhm.
And it's like he's like, "Oh my god, I could have taken better pictures with my iPhone." Right? And it's
Probably.
like, "Oh my gosh." So, let's get back to the pet peeves.
Okay, let's do it.
Can we not have some standards
No,
with pictures?
let's not, because when they do a bad job, just makes us look better.
Yeah, but it's almost like I feel bad for the
Yeah. Oh,
sellers.
1000%. Like, because I've probably said this before, like, to me, there's a lot of great agents out there, there's some not so great agents, and to me,
Yeah,
I'm like, if you know me, but end up working with someone else because I understand, like, people more than one realtor, that's like, if they're doing a good job for you and you're happy with them, great. But
right.
when they're not doing a good job, when it's like, that just is what really yeah, it's just so disappointing, and
Yeah.
yeah, and it's like, you guys, like,
And
you're
it's
being misrepresent
embarrassing.
yes,
It's
yes.
embarrassing.
Yeah, yeah, when your client has to call out what a poor job the realtor
Yeah.
is doing, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And okay, and in this circumstance, it was tenant occupied, but like, I've just recently listed something that's tenant occupied, and I went in there and we just kind of moved things around a little. We still
There's
made it look presentable.
Yeah, there's things you can do, and
Yeah.
same. Yeah, no, for sure.
And it just does a disservice to the client, to the seller.
Oh, totally.
And it's just like, let's go,
Well, but you
people.
know
Like,
what?
come on.
It might behoove your buyer because you know what I mean? Like, that's the
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
People look at something online and they're like, "Ugh." I think kudos to your buyer for, like, he can see or she, it sounded like you said
Yeah.
yeah.
See past it.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
and that's maybe where sometimes, you can sort of get a bit of a deal or the value lies
Yes.
because they're not kind of positioning themselves as an 11 out of 10, and they're not gonna get 11 out of 10 money, they're gonna get
No.
4 out of 10 money, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so could be good for them, but
Ugh.
yeah. Uh,
And, but it's always too, it's like, why? Oh, yeah.
what?
What if you can't get the pictures and it presented in a way that is pleasing because, you know, the seller is gonna get less money
Yeah,
just because they're not going to get the showings
yeah,
that the home probably deserves. And the funny thing is about this home is, like, I've seen it before,
mhm,
so I know that it's a really neat house,
gotcha.
right? And
Yeah,
just to see it looking like it is, yeah, if my client's interested,
awesome.
perhaps we'll be
Yeah,
taking advantage of that.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. So, maybe that pet peeve will come full circle. Keep us posted,
I
please.
will, I will.
Okay, well, then I wanna what?
There was something else that I wanted to get back to on. Remember, and I think this was like our second meeting, and I gave you a gift,
Uh-huh.
and it was a bar soap, and it had this enchantment about intuition. Do you have any feedback on that?
Okay, well I was like, "You know what? I should put this soap out. I should use it so I can see if my intuition is going to
Yeah.
skyrocket." And so I put it in the main floor, like, two-piece powder room,
Yeah.
and it's very, I don't know, glycerin-y, so I used it once, and I don't know
Yes.
if once was enough to really boost my intuition, and then when I went back again, very much it needs a tray or it needs a so yeah, go back. Okay, so you're right. Bad job there. I will employ it in another capacity. I'll
Okay.
figure out how to use it. But yeah, so then I pulled it from the old
Okay. Yep.
room, and so
I mean, those soap,
well,
the
it's like glycerin.
glycerin-y one.
If the glycerin ratio is so yeah, so it was interesting. So yeah, but that's a bit with the old
Okay.
homemade soaps, and it's interesting because the soap I'd had there before was homemade from, like, a friend of mine. They were, like, on
Oh,
this,
okay.
like, soap making kicks,
Right. Right.
and hers seemed to fare well situated in that position, but,
Yeah.
I don't know if it boosted my intuition, so, give take.
Well, how about you? Is there anything
Well,
real estate-wise that's
I have a bit of a funny story. I mean, so I would say that, like, part of the reason Michelle and I wanna do this podcast is we have such funny conversations about, like, off the record real estate stuff, but I don't know how, like, I mean, we've got, like, I don't know, half a dozen to a dozen listeners, so I don't know if I'm gonna, like, get canceled or whatever, but it's like you always kinda wanna speak at least neutral or, like, positive, but I feel like I don't
just
know.
say it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, anyway, so I got a call. So oh my goodness, this could turn into short story long. I had a listing, um, low 7 figures outside the Henday, so in the burbs, put a deal together on it. I'm just gonna try and make this succinct. They were pending until a Thursday, their inspection was the Wednesday night, the deposit was due Wednesday. The other agent messaged me from the inspection. Buyer didn't have time to make it to the bank today. Can we amend the deposit till tomorrow? Talk to my clients. Yeah, okay, because it's pending till tomorrow. We do up the paperwork, but the deposit was due by 8 p.m., but neither party had even signed by 8 p.m. Like we are
Right.
still getting that dealt with. So we have this form that goes with the late deposit saying, hey, we acknowledge it's late. We're not going to kill the deal because just so our listeners know, if a deposit is late, the seller does have the right to be like, "I'm yanking this." That's, like,
Yeah.
the only time really the seller can kill a deal unless they have a condition, but they normally don't. And so, we accompany this amendment with this form. The next day comes, still getting the runaround on the old deposit, but they wanna remove their conditions. So they actually yeah, and the other agent even talked to her broker, and the broker was like, "Well, you have to follow their lawful instruction, and if they wanna remove conditions, you remove conditions, and we have a form out there saying, 'Hey, their deposit can be late.'" So, awesome. Anyways, this is all preamble. Um, so, whatever, long story short, we're ghosted. We have to sell it again.
Oh,
So,
good grief.
I'm already a little annoyed because, uh, it's the home is priced well for what it is. Again, seven-figure homes in the burbs are not, like, flying off the shelf. So, if it's been on the market for a month, it's not the end of the world, but I get this call from the public. So this is
Yeah.
where it's like I've already sold it once,
Yeah.
and they're calling me on the listing and asking me some questions, and one of the sound bites that just kind of sent me over the edge, I wanna see what Michelle thinks of this, is, "Are your sellers serious sellers?"
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Come
Do
on.
you know what I think? Okay, so when I hear that, I think, "Are you a
Are you a
serious?"
serious agent?
No, "Are you a s" no, no, that was a buyer, that was the member of the public.
Oh, are you
Yeah.
serious?
"Are you a serious bu"
Yeah.
it's like, "Whoa,
You
kettle
what do you have
calling someone
sitting?
black."
Oh
It's
my
like, you're clearly
gosh.
not a serious buyer.
You have an agent.
Well, no. No, no, they do, even better. Michelle, but they wanna put a deal together with me so that they can save commission. Oh my god, I was
Oh,
like,
come on.
yeah. So anyway, so these are some of my pet peeves, and we had a few sound bites in the phone call. So the first one was, "Are sellers
Okay.
serious sellers?" Then, so because they were like, they said that they had their bungalow listed, and she told me the area, and so in and around that same part of the city, but, like, older, and then whatever, she threw out Riverbend, so good. So we're in, and I'm in this listings in the Southwest, and so fine, like, okay. So I already knew she had an agent, and then I don't remember exactly how the conversation went, but yeah, so the first one, though, where I was like, she already, like, put me on the wrong foot, was this, like, "Are they serious sellers?" And then I don't remember which one was next, but she was like, just basically like, "Yes, would I show them the home?" And I'm kinda like, "But you have an agent, and I already can tell that you're not something I'm interested in, like,
Okay.
dealing with."
So
So she wanted to, but yeah, she's like, "Will you show me the home?" And I was kinda like, "Well," and she's like, I wanted her to, like, come out and say that she wanted the deal because I would be representing both ends, and I was just like, "No, that's not even happening."
listen, people, that is not how it works.
No, it's not, I know, it's hilarious. I'm like, "You're actually probably gonna do worse."
That is not how it works. And I don't know. I remember I got this call once and it was a member of the public. They phoned me on one of my listings and they wanted me to show it to them. And I was booked. Like it was a really busy week for me. And so I had arranged it for another realtor
To show them.
to show it to them.
Mhm.
And I made sure that this person was there. I'd followed up with them. I'm like, listen, I'm not going to be able to be there. I'm going to have another agent. Are you still going to be able to be there?
Mm.
He said, yes, yes, I'll be there. And then I sent the agent who was going to be meeting him the the member of the public's information. Would you know that this guy stood him up? Like the agent was waiting there to show it to him,
Oh.
and he's like, so he didn't show up. And I said, hey, what's going on? I thought you were going to meet him here. I have an agent ready to show you. He's like, no, I wanted to deal with you. I'm like, oh, really? And we got into a little text back and forth because he said, I didn't want to deal with him. I wanted to deal with the listing agent. I'm like, oh, why is that? And again, I
Mhm.
wanted him
I
to
want you to
say,
say it. I
yeah,
want you to tell me you're cheap.
yeah. And then he implied, he's like, "Oh, how long have you been doing this?" Right? Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
these are all, like, big, like, Red
That
flags.
is not how it works. I don't know why they feel that because they aren't being represented.
They are being represented though. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that they're going to be getting some kind of discount.
well, and here's
It's like, no, the home isn't worth less just
exactly.
because you are phoning on a sign,
Yeah, like
right?
it's yeah, the market value is still the market value.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like the reason I'm like they're not necessarily getting a better deal is because I have to be neutral at that point.
Yes.
Like, you know, you want your own agent representing you and solely working for you. When
Right.
I'm double ending, I actually my hands are tied in a couple places and that's like part of my fiduciary duties. And if both parties want it, like it's fine, we can do it, but it's like I would never suggest it or recommend it. And I think 9 times out of 10 in those scenarios, they're not getting a deal.
No.
Like, it's just and yeah, so anyways, so yes, it's so interesting, but the story so there's a third soundbite and then there's a funny finish. And then at another point in the conversation, this was her other tactic to get a better deal on the home, but we're seniors. So I said, "What if
Oh,
my" I
no.
said, "What if my seller is a senior?" Like, he wasn't,
Yeah.
but like, what? What?
Oh my
What?
god.
Like, I'm like, "How do I" I'm like,
It's like
"Call
this
your
isn't
agent, click." Like, I was just so done with
uh
them. I'm like,
this isn't Bay Days, right? Like
"Shoppers on a Tuesday." Like,
oh my
you know? Like, anyway, yeah, totally. So
Well, that's a new one. I've never heard that one.
I feel like I've heard that before, but, like, this person pulling out all the stops, and, I was just like, "This is no, this is I want nothing to do with any of this. Call your agent, call them now." And it was funny because I felt like they had to sell their home. Now I think they had an offer on it, maybe it was why they were starting to explore, like, actually, more seriously buying.
Right.
So, but I was like, "Call your agent," and so then sure enough, I hear from, like, an agent, and they're gonna show it, and I know the agent, and great, fine, like, and again, this listing had been on, sold, and then came back on, so it had, dare I say, a little hype. There's a little something going on there, and there was some other interested parties because it wasn't
Yeah.
like I think she kind of thought, "Oh, here's this, like, you know, seven-figure property that's just been sitting on the market for 5 or 6 weeks." I'm like, "Well, it's not
Not
maybe
quite
what
like
it
that.
appears." Yeah. And they're actually like, I'm not just blowing smoke, like, there's some other interested parties. And sure enough, we had literally so they went to take a look at it, and then there was some other interested parties, but basically they saw it twice, like, they ended up coming back, I think, 2 days later, and then there was 2 other agents that had each shown it twice, all within the same couple days. So and then we actually got a multiple offer, and this member of the public did bring an offer with their agent,
Mhm.
and what I will say is, surprise, surprise, they didn't get it, but it
Shocking.
and it helped me because then I was in a multiple offer.
Yeah.
So it is just interesting how karmically full circle that one
Yeah.
came. It's like and to me, I don't get it. I'm like, "You actually just lost a great home.
Mm.
Like, where's the value in that? Ding
Right.
dong." Anyway,
Right.
so that's where I'm like, I'm gonna get a little aggressive here, and maybe I'm not gonna sound so professional, but, like, sometimes people, it's just like I love the line, "Picking up the pennies while the dollars are flying over their head," and
Whew.
it's yeah, totally. It's
Yeah.
like you and I kind of this is just, like, the vindictive side of me, I'm like, I hope that this, like, house haunts them, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
it's like,
Yeah.
you know? I don't know, I just because it's like, it just bothers me so much when it's like, I get it, you wanna do the best you can, but it's like there's gonna be a ceiling or a basement to that or whatever, and I do think people cut off their nose to spite their face often in real estate, not all the time, and there's some great clients that get it, and I
Yeah.
love working with those clients, like,
Yeah.
they kinda see, like, big picture, and it's like, "Oh, wait, we just actually this is a coup," you know?
But, you have to think about because I know that these people, when it comes time to sell their home, they're
Oh,
gonna want
don't worry.
everything, right?
The other agent, I was very transparent. I'm like, "Yep, they reached out to me, like, I know this agent," and they were like, "Yeah, and sure thing, they totally want more than their home is
Of
worth." Like,
course,
it's just
yeah, the
yeah,
story's already been written.
tale as old as time. Anyway, well, I mean, that's, I think, a wrap again
Yeah.
on episode 8. So everyone, thank you so much for listening, and,
We'll see you again soon.
we'll be chatting with you again soon, that's for sure. Hey, bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks for listening. You can listen to us on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Music, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Wherever you get your fine podcasts.
Yes.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow.
Just do all the things.
All the things. Thanks for listening, guys.